I still feel like shit. You might be able to tell from my voice that I'm still pretty stuffed up in the face, but I wanted to make a video about this just very, very quickly as a bit of a call to action. I don't really know entirely how to segue into what I'm talking about, so I'm just going to say right now that you need to contact whatever your payment provider is, because if you don't, then we're on step one of the end of the fucking world. Last week, Steam delisted a bunch of not safe for work games, and the reason why is because they added a new clause to their terms of service basically saying that content on Steam that is in violation of their payment processor's guidelines would not be allowed on there. Obviously, a lot of the games taken down, I can understand why. There were ones involving what's the algo speak term for like when you go in someone and they don't want you in there? There were some games like that. There were also games involving like forced slavery. I guess all slavery is forced. Fuck you, I'm tired. Point being, it's a lot of fucked up games that were on there that have been delisted. And while that sounds great on the surface, there's a small problem, and it's the wording of the rule that I read you. The abiding by the terms of service of payment processors. What the fuck does that mean? Why is it so vague? What is the degree to which this can be enforced? Because unless those are there, then it's going to end up being entirely vibes. And we know what happens when things end up being entirely vibes. Itch.io recently did a mass delisting and retiring of a bunch of the games on their platform. You cannot download them even if you wanted to anymore. They're just gone. If you paid money for them, too bad. And this comes off the heels of a little bit of controversy when they had a game uploaded to their page called No Mercy that also involved a lot of things that I can't talk about on YouTube. Once again, it's a very fucked up game. Once again, I can understand why it was removed. But once again, listen to their statement. Read what their reasoning is. They're being beholden to payment processors again. Interesting. So we're 2 for 2 on game sites getting a bunch of their not safe for work material taken down because of payment processor things within a week of each other. What is going on? Well, I'll tell you what the fuck is going on. It's the fact that we can't have nice things. There's unfortunately a lot of groups that are determined to make it so that we don't have nice things. One of which is Collective Shout right here. They spread an email campaign basically finding a bunch of very deplorable shit, the bad apples if you will, on Steam and itch.io, and they started blasting emails at payment processors like MasterCard and Visa and PayPal and saying, hey, look at this shit on your platform. You don't want this on your platform, do you? You don't want this debauchery on it. And so MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal read that and they're like, they're getting a bunch of emails saying that these companies are doing very bad things and the hate campaign is making it seem like it's a very widely known and well-established issue. They gotta take some action. So consequently, they force Steam to take down a bunch of their stuff if they want to keep being used as a payment processor. They force itch.io to take down a bunch of their stuff in order to do the same thing. And it's just a whole fucking mess. Collective Shout masquerades itself as a feminist organization where they just want to take care of like thinking of the kids and like preserving integrity in women and girls and, you know, all the regular buzzwords. And I do agree that the No Mercy game was an issue. And I say was because itch.io actually already took action against this thing back in April. And you may be asking yourself, if they already took care of the game and banned it off the platform back in April, then why would they take everything down now? Why would Collective Shout and by proxy the payment processors want to delist even more of the games? I want you to think about the time that any major group of any level of power has tried to stifle and restrict and get rid of unconventional pieces of art. Do you think they stop at the worst? They absolutely do fucking not. If Collective Shout had emailed MasterCard and Visa and PayPal just about the No Mercy game and they banned it, then that'd be all well and good. But that's not enough for them. They need to make sure that everything they don't think fits under their moral umbrella is taken care of and disposed of. And very, very worst case, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, so, you know, porn shit gets banned. That's whatever, right? But the problem is, the way that these game companies are now making their TOS around the payment processors is so fucking vague, and the Collective Shout people have clearly shown that they can make the payment processors do whatever the fuck they want. What's going to stop them from banning whatever they feel like falls under not safe for work? You know what a lot of these types of people think is not safe for work? Gay people existing. Stories and retellings of a person's trauma. Pretty much any media that has sexual education in it other than just saying to do abstinence. We already have seen countless examples of various politicians and activist groups, quote-unquote activist groups, around the world who try and stifle people's free speech if it happens to just slightly go outside of the norm or what they're comfortable with. That isn't stuff that's just fucking 1950s trad wife aesthetics. I ordered some eye trackers for my index. Hopefully I can look at you again at some point. We have seen time and time again that people who want to get rid of LGBT people, any marginalized community, they do it first under the guise of getting rid of not safe for work things for the sake of keeping children safe. I don't buy that for a fucking second, and you shouldn't either. Yeah, the No Mercy game is incredibly fucked up, but it was listed as an adult thing. You know who's not supposed to be playing adult games? Kids. You know what kids have? Parents. You know what parents are supposed to do? Fucking parent! It really should not be this hard. It shouldn't be this much to grasp in your head. But listen, odds are there's a 95% chance if you're watching this that you're already subscribed to me or know who I am, and you probably agree with a majority of what I'm saying. So I don't need to keep bashing you over the head with this fucking shit about why you should give a shit, because odds are you probably already do. So what can you do about it? Well, in the description of this video, I have a couple Blue Sky posts that have information on how to get in touch with MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal yourself. I have no way to verify this number, but apparently the amount of emails that Collective Shout had sent was about 1,000. We could pass 1K easily. Below are direct links to phone numbers, emails, and contact forms on the various major payment processors that have taken action against things like this recently. Also included is a Google Doc that even has a custom email template, so if you don't feel like writing something out yourself, you can use that. Me personally, I took the template and just reworded it a bunch just to make sure that in the event that they set up an automatic thing to just catch all the template emails, they don't miss mine, and you should do the same thing with yours. And I'm making this video because this is the biggest platform that I have. I've become very passionate over the last few years about making sure that the people in my community who are most often targeted and who are arguably the most vulnerable are protected when shit like this happens, because shit like this happens more often than you think, but I've never seen it at this scale before, and it feels genuinely terrifying. So that's why I'm doing this. I want to just get the word out there that this is happening and tell you what you can do. You can just call, you can email, you can do whatever. Either way, it will take a max of 5 minutes and you'll be doing a world of good. Telling these payment processors to just keep their grubby hands off what we do as long as it is legal and consenting. Because if this keeps the trajectory that they're going, and then it gets the attention of someone like the American government who starts enforcing this shit, and of course because it's America, a bunch of other countries are going to start following suit, this could be the beginning of a very dark period. It's the same thing as when a bunch of like TERFs and other deplorable people started making their way over to Blue Sky when they saw that a lot of us went over there. Because they're chasing us down. We're actively trying to get away from the motherfuckers, and then these people just start barging their way in, and when they realize that they couldn't harass us on the social networks, now they're just harassing payment processors to get rid of the shit that we hold dear. With all the shit going on as well, this is your reminder to back up everything you care about. I've been telling people to do this since the results of the last US election. If you have a piece of art or something unconventional that is very important to you, download it, save it locally somewhere. Don't rely on cloud storage services or streaming services. Assume all of them are gonna get compromised at some fucking point, okay? If it's a video game, find a way to crack it and save it for yourself. If it is stuff that's only on streaming, find a way to download the files from it. There's so many good tools that you're able to use, and it is important that you're able to archive these things because you might want to revisit them in the future. Generations down the line might be wondering what kind of stuff that their fucking government is hiding from them. The art you view is important. The art you make is important. And if we keep letting bad actors like this go directly to the source of the things that we love and that we make, how much longer can we do it? Check the description. Go bitch at Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal for me. Thanks.